Hey there everyone, it's Alex here from VG247.com, and I got some gameplay footage here of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which of course is the latest entry in the Assassin's Creed series, and I got to go hands-on with it at Gamescom. Now, I'm really excited about what I got to go hands-on with and what I get to show you here, because it's a bit different to what you usually get in the preview stage for games like this. And that is specifically, what I'm getting at is, I got to go hands-on with some late-game Sidequest content. In fact, not even late game, this may have been post-game Sidequest content. So the stuff that you actually get access to after you've completed the main story, super high-end. So got to play with a character who had all high-end abilities, high-end equipment unlocked, all that sort of stuff, and just experience one big late-game quest. And basically, this quest sees you help out this lady here who's in this cutscene to track down her missing lover. And that involves, basically, it's a really good vertical slice of the whole game, in the sense that, so there's a bit of fighting guards, a bit of exploration on the sea, a bit of exploration in general. There's a stealth sequence, or a sequence that you can do in a stealthy way, and I do. And then at the very end, you sort of have a big raid-style boss where you can really get stuck in with the RPG abilities and all that sort of stuff. So it was a really cool just sort of overview of everything, not everything, but many of the things you're going to be able to do in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't want to talk and natter too much over this footage because there's a lot of it, but I figured I would just do a bit of an introduction and talk about what I think about what I played. And the short version is really, I really like it. I guess the big interesting thing that's happened with Assassin's Creed, first with Origins and now here with Odyssey continued in this game, is that it is an RPG now. Before it was an adventure game with a couple of light RPG elements. At this point it is a full-blown RPG game with the sort of abilities and skills you expect from RPGs, AoE attacks, stuff like that, and also the character choice in terms of equipment and stuff like that you would expect from an RPG. In fact, if I had to say one game that in particular, more than any other, sort of appeared to influence Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I would say it would be The Witcher. You know, the third Witcher game in particular, obviously, was really successful and really popular, and I think a lot of developers looked at that. I mean, you can certainly see that game's influence even in, say, Final Fantasy 15, and it's very, very visible here. It feels a bit like that. And I think that stuff mixes with the traditional Assassin's Creed stuff really well. The interesting thing is, and I saw somebody say this on Twitter a while ago, or not long ago, but sort of at Gamescom, about the content of this demo, about the fact that the boss of this demo, spoilers, I'm just going to say it's a pause now if you don't want to know who the boss of this demo is, spoilers. The fact that the boss of this demo is Medusa, people were just, I saw somebody on Twitter say, what is even the identity of Assassin's Creed anymore when, you know, Medusa's a boss and all that sort of stuff? Like, what does any of that even mean? And they are right to an extent, and it's like, in the entire course of this demo, I only did a couple of Assassin's Creed's signature assassinations. And, you know, you're certainly not, you know, the days of the hidden blade being your main weapon are long gone. But there's a good side to that. I mean, you know, the Assassin's Creed combat, which seemed clever in the second game and then really got old, of waiting for an enemy to attack and then countering and smashing them when that's sort of gone. Counters are still there, obviously, but you've got a lot more options now with AoE attacks and everything else. You've got a lot more options for ways you can sort of deal with a large group of enemies. And also, as you will see in this footage, enemies, you know, don't do that bloody thing. They didn't do this in Origins either, for the record, but they don't do that thing where they attack you one at a time, which was an AI conceit that was put in place in order to make the counter system, the counter heavy system they built work, and that's no longer needed here, and the combat is better for it. So yeah, I really liked what I played, combat-wise and all that sort of stuff. It looks stunning. This footage is only 1080p, and it was running on a Xbox One X, I think. It was one of those situations where the machine was inside a locked box, so I couldn't see. And I remember asking them if it was Xbox or PC, and they definitely said Xbox, but I don't think they stipulated if it was Xbox One or Xbox One X, but one would assume it would be Xbox One X, because you go to trade shows now, and nobody ever demos on anything but the most powerful machine. And it looks great at 1080p, but I am curious to see what it will look like at 4K, and I'm sure it will look absolutely stunning on a PC. And, of course, it's worth pointing out, I was at Gamescom with the guys at Nvidia. So VG247 had a few people at Gamescom, but I actually went out with Nvidia covering the RTX, I almost said GTX, god, that's going to be hard to get onto, the RTX 2080 graphics card. And this is exactly one of the games where, when it comes out, I'll be very curious to see how it runs and what sort of performance we can get out of it on the new high-end graphics cards. Anyhow, so yeah, I really like this game. Odyssey is doing something which Origins didn't, where I did enjoy Origins, but if I'm honest, I didn't quite sort of get into it enough where I wanted to really play hours and hours of it, where I just played this and something clicked. I don't know if it's the setting. I definitely have a lot of time for just the ancient Greek setting and everything, all the trappings of that. But just seeing this side quest and the fact that it's a post, because it's so easy with post-game quests for a post-game quest to just be like, well, you know, here's a super high-end boss and that's your lot, laddie. You know, here's a super high-end boss and everything else is just, well, a whole lot of nothing. So the fact that this quest sort of gave you some high-end guards to tumble with, which was a good way of introducing me to the game's mechanics, because I was sort of out of practice otherwise. The fact that you had all of that was really, really good. And then the fact that it got you to explore and got you to go through a different location and search for a clue and all that sort of stuff, I just think really drove home how special this game has the potential to be. When they really leverage all the different systems that are in there. I think sometimes with the Ubisoft games, there can be Ubisoft make the every game where, you know, it's the joke of even the crew had towers, right? Ubisoft makes games where every single element of one game makes it into the other in some way or another, which of course leads to fun things like people speculating that Watch Dogs is in the same universe as Assassin's Creed and all that sort of stuff. But in a game like this, you can feel how that can really benefit a game by just making it feel broad and large, and, you know, like there's a hell of a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, I'm pretty much going to let some of this footage play out now. I'm going to put some cuts in, because Ubisoft doesn't want us to show the whole thing uncut, which is fair enough. So you'll notice a few fades here and there. Keep in mind that's me, that's not the game. And yeah, we'll be back closer to launch with more coverage of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm really pumped to play the final thing now, actually. Like, before, it's funny, I wasn't too fussed at all. Like, I was interested vaguely, but I wasn't massively bothered. And playing this demo really turned that around for me. There's a full write-up on VG247.com as well, so maybe go and give that a read if you prefer the written word rather than me wittering and rambling. But, yeah, I'll pop a link to that in the description, and we'll be back with more coverage on launch. And just so you know, launch is Xbox One, PS4 Pro, well, PS4 and PS4 Pro, Xbox One and Xbox One X, and of course PC. And it's out on the 5th of October. So we've only got, from the date that I'm putting this video up, only around a month to wait. So that's pretty good. Anyway, that's it, yeah. So don't forget to give us a like, give us a subscribe if you like this sort of stuff. It really helps us out. Until next time, everyone. See ya.
And mine. A forbidden place for forbidden love.
Not much of a love nest. I've seen more romantic funerals.
I found scraps of her clothes leading to the writhing dread's lair. Please, we need to hurry.
Time to find Ligia. You lead the way.
What happened to these trees? I shouldn't be here.
empty of life.
We enter the realm of the writhing dread. Listen. It's as if sound itself is afraid of what the fog veils.
It's getting hard to breathe. Even the air is dead. Oh, these statues are unnervingly lifelike. And their faces are contorted in fear.
It destroys all living things, transforming them to stone and leaving them frozen in fear for all eternity. If Ligia, if she's stone, how will we bury her? She'll never meet Charon. Ligia! Ligia!
Brice, wait! Malaka! Better go after her.
Ligia! That's her! Cassandra, she's alive!
We need to get inside. But I see no openings, and the walls are too smooth to climb.
She shouldn't be in there. She should be in my arms. Her breath, her smell. Every night we'd meet at the Dread Ruins. I was late, just once. I wanted to find her a rose. Something as perfect as she is. This is my fault. If I'd gotten there in time.
Then you'd both be trapped inside.
Together.
You were searching for a rose, a gift. Never regret an act of kindness, Brice.
Thank you.
What do you know about this place?
Ligia is a daughter of Artemis. Her people trained here long ago. A legend tells of an ancient artifact they recovered in a pit full of snakes. She believed they still had it, hidden in their village on Chios.
I'll find it.
There's also a mercenary, a man who claims he killed the creature.
Impossible.
But many believe him. He might know something.
You said Ligia knew how to get into the lair. Where exactly is the key?
The daughters of Artemis hide their most prized possessions in a cave in their village. It's protected by wild beasts and fierce warriors. The key is shaped like a disc. If they have it, it will be there.
This mercenary, the slayer of the writhing dread. Where can I find him?
He waits in a temple atop the hill in ancient Peril. Champions from all over seek to challenge him to build their reputations, but there is no way he killed the creature. If he did, how was Ligia taken?
Did you see the creature yourself?
No, but only the writhing dread would be strong enough to take Ligia. She's too fierce. And too stubborn.
I'll find a way inside, and then I'll kill this creature.
And I'll find Ligia the rose I should have given her that night. Someone, I tell you, in another time will remember us.
The poet Sappho.
Our favorite. Please, Cassandra, hurry.
Fast travel down here. Fast travel to your ship. And just hold X.
should pick up that salvage! The gods are with us today, Cassandra. The sea is calm and the winds are warm.
It's beautiful.
It is, my friend. It sure is.
Start rowing! Here we are. This looks like the place. This is it. Year's story. I hope it opens the Writhing Dread's lair like they say.
So now then you've got this, right? Yeah. So now you can return to the place where you talk to and then you move on to the bus.
So can I travel from inside the
No,
cave?
you have to get outside.
And I assume that's represented by the red.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Really good mission pick for a demo like this. It is a little bit of everything. It's good.
Yeah. Nice to get a bit of variety in there.
I'm definitely, I tend to play these games with max stealth. Like,
Yeah?
never combat based.
Yeah. We've tried to improve a lot.
Ready to sail!
The helm's all yours, Commander.
So it should be a really fun.
So it's back across to me, I'm gonna go, right?
So yeah, just
There's some debris in the water.
Ship me on!
I see salvage. On, my friend. My father used to say, when Meeks blinds you, seek the cat.
Your father was a man of the sea, what?
No, he was a potter. But he was a man who always saw light in the darkest of places.
Then you take after your father.
We all do, whether we like it or not.
Get that sail up! Stop the ship! Come on. Yeah!
This is the video game country bit. Approach, you know, this is the people's, they've all got to be slightly when the witch guys do the game. Yeah. Brilliant self-worth. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah!
Just that switch to a more RPG style series, the reinvigorated RPG series. Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. Oh, she's hiding in there. Yeah.
Have you found a way inside the lair?
Lygia's story was true. The daughters of Artemis were protecting this disc, key, this... I have what opens the lair.
Then what are you waiting for? Use the disc. Open the door.
There's no time for the mercenary. Whatever he knows, we'll find out ourselves. We're opening that door now.
You have Lygia's heart, Cassandra.
Breeze, wait!
Lygia! Lygia!
Malaka. Breeze! You have no idea what... Breeze! Jesus! I hate snakes.